Good morning, I'm Ed Kane with Broadvoice. To Dan's point, I've been in telecom since '97, on the channel side since 2005, and Dan and I used to compete against each other, and now we're partners. We've been doing carrier side for about 6 years. So I'm well versed on both sides of the aisle, your side, our side, and I think Broadvoice will bring a lot of opportunity to you folks that actually play in the hosted space. How many people here sell hosted? Pretty much most of the group. If you're not selling hosted, you're missing out. I mean, anytime you walk into an office and you see AT&T bill or POTS lines, that's a sale right there, because hosted's so much cheaper than what they have in place. So, Broadvoice company overview. Which one does this? Huh? Which one? It's not. No. Okay, I can't work it. That's what I wanted. Yeah. Oh, there we go. All right. A little bit about Broadvoice. Broadvoice, founded in 2005, actually was founded in 1996 as a pager company. 3 guys out of an apartment who sold pagers on campus and grew the business up from there, selling DSL after that, dial-up services with AT&T. Brought a Metaswitch platform in 2005, started selling hosted VoIP. We're headquarters in Los Angeles. We actually have 175 now, 6,100 business customers. Channel only, we don't have any direct sales force. You'll never run into us on the streets. That seems to be the industry standard anymore. Nobody has a direct sales force, except maybe the big 3. Fastest 500, various awards and such. UCAS growth, this is per Gartner, $17.35 billion in growth. It's going to damn near double by the end of 2021. We have the largest market share in the world of hosted. I'm sure you've seen that RingCentral's spreading out and they're opening up branches all over the world. We're not quite there yet, but it's coming. UCAS drivers, for the folks of you that aren't familiar with hosted, low cost of ownership, pay-per-use model, drive mobility, bring your own device, integration of services, if you CRM integration, various platforms. Continuous service support, increasing demand by SMBs. SMB space is the largest space for hosted. It's the easiest sell for hosted, and it's the quickest turnaround for hosted. There's still a huge marketplace out there for 5-seat deals, 10-seat deals. That's rampant out there. It's like a 400% increase year over year in that space alone. So our service, much like most of the hosted providers out there, we all offer pretty much the same services. It comes down to more to implementation, compensation, costs, that kind of thing, and how the products are packaged. We have mobility, productivity, customer service, SMB focused, high availability, connectivity, BYOD, BYOB, for you, those of you who don't, BYOD is bring your own device. So if a customer has an IP handset, we can check and see that if it's compatible with our network, they can actually put that on our network and not have any costs out of pocket. If BYOB, you can put it on a UVerse circuit, a Comcast connection. I wouldn't put it on DSL. You can do some wireless point-to-points if there's enough throughput. Lots of ways to get that business. Okay, some of our features. Oh, I got to go back over here, I guess. Sorry. Unlimited local and long distance includes Canada. E911 support, auto attendant, call recording, paging, find me, follow me, voicemail to email, virtual fax, business SMS, conference calling, presence, instant messaging. Our mobile app, you can actually SMS through our mobile app, so it looks like it's coming from your desk. And you'll get a response because somebody will ask you who it is because they didn't realize you could do it from your desk. Platform, okay, so we were Metaswitch up until December of last year, and we acquired a company last year and revamped the product set and moved to the new platform. The new platform is called Beehive. Prior to that, it was called XBP. For those of you that don't know, XBP is the product that Verizon resells as their hosted product. So there's 20,000 plus endpoints on Verizon already, and actually Verizon still sells that product because they still have their instance of it as their product. It's a much more robust platform than Metaswitch. It's got contact center. It's got a very, very easy to use portal, lots of bells and whistles that you would expect on a more like a BroadSoft higher level platform. Contact center, call paths with bursting, call recording on SIP, the communicator, which is our, compatible to UC1, is our desktop messaging tool, soft phone and all that. And then a single admin panel. Just a screenshot of a contact center. This is actually what the user would see. Automatic call distribution, real-time reporting, historical reporting, wallboard support, supervisor dashboard, time-of-day routing, barge, monitor, whisper, remote agent support, incoming call details. All the call details are kept in this portal until somebody removes them. It's infinite, so it stays up there for as long as as you leave it in there. Most of all the features and functionality are encompassed in the one price, so there's not multi-tiered pricing for the contact center stuff. It is not all a la carte. You see it, you price it, it's there. And for those of you who would like demos of it, I've left my cards up back. We can do a live demo. We can go through. We can log into a live contact center, and we can show you. Some of our customers have given us the ability to do that. SIP features. Call recording is available on SIP. Actually, bursting is available on SIP now too. And the way bursting works is if you buy 10 trunks and that 11th call comes in, we just charge you a usage rate. So we just let the call go through. We charge them 0.029 cents per minute, and then it just shows up on their bill and it goes back down. So there's no signing up for it. It's just included as part of the package. And also on SIP deals right now, there's a 2x spiff on SIP. And we have a local-only SIP trunk for $11, unlimited local and long-distance SIP trunk including Canada for $17, and then we have a global extension that's 57 countries, including some mobile, that's $26. This is a screenshot of our communicator. Search for contacts, view present, instant message. Initiate call from the browser, text and SMS, and available proceeds. The one thing I like about this is being able to SMS from the communicator to people that are out in the field. That's a very, very big plus. I use that a lot. Mobile app, iTunes or Google Play. Every user on the pro seat level gets, every user gets the mobile app included at no charge. Single admin panel. So that's the regular user or the admin user. Shows all call details. Number of calls, calls answered, calls abandoned, average wait time, average call duration. Again, that's in there forever. There's actually tabs that you can go pull. You can it'll show a Google map of where their calls are from. It'll show you if it's a landline or if it's a mobile phone. It'll drill down, show your top 10 locations where you're getting calls, everything. So the hosted seat options, we do two ways. We do seats in a one-to-one, which is normal, right? Every handset has a call path, or we can do call path options where you can do many to any, right? So like the PRI or subscription rate. We set it at 3-to-1, so 10 call paths you would have, or 9 seats you'd have 3 call paths. Depending on the size of the deal and the actual requirement, we can go up to 8-to-1 if I have a customer now that's got 2,000 seats, but they use 2,000 users, but they use 2 PRIs. So it's 43 call paths. So we scaled it back to give them the same thing to match up so that the pricing actually works as they're seeing it now with their PRIs. You can also share call paths across the enterprise. And that's on SIP as well. So SIP trunks, we can share those across an enterprise too. So our hosted packages are pretty, I would say more than reasonable. We have metered seats, which we don't sell many of. Standard seat, every seat comes with a DID, unlimited local and long distance, business SMS, mobile app, voicemail, and voicemail to email notification. On the Pro seat for $23, you get everything. You get call recording, you get virtual fax included. Every user's DID can become a fax, and it's all baked into here. Automatic call recording, call catch, and then the communicator. The pricing is $23 on a 1-to-1. Excuse me. If it's 3-to-1, if you're doing the call path model, it's only $10, and the call paths are $30. So there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. I mean, if you have a school system that needs 100 seats, but they're going to make 10 calls at any one time, that's a good way to go. It's so much cheaper and so much more economical and easier to sell. Anybody have any questions? I know I'm going kind of fast. Yes, ma'am.
How does the SIP trunking pricing fit in with the hosted packages?
So the SIP trunking is separate, right? So actually, I'm about to get to that. Okay. That's all right. A la carte, we can add additional DIDs, but every DID gets a seat already. So when you buy a seat, you're already all in. I mean, if you buy a Pro seat, there's nothing more for the customer to add than a handset. International DIDs, we can do some. Park DIDs, for people that have PRIs that are afraid to let go of their numbers, and I'm sure you guys run into that. We can park their DIDs if they're worried about losing their sequential order. Auto attendance, $10. Conference bridge, $10. There's an analytics package that you can lay over the top of the contact center or the normal admin users, and that's $50 for the entire account. Yes, sir.
You said auto attendant is $10?
Yes.
Didn't it show that each user on the Pro side can have their own auto attendant, personal auto attendant?
No.
At the very bottom, what's call catch?
Oh, that's you can go in and set the system to actually function like a auto attendant personally, a personal auto attendant, as opposed to one for the entire.
So an auto attendant is additional. So if you order 10 seats, you still have to pay $10 extra a month for the auto attendant.
Right.
And that's multi-tiered, like unlimited?
Right. Yeah, actually, yeah, it's not like one and then you press sales and then when you get to sales you press for, fax machine sales. Yeah, we don't charge you for the parent-child all the way down, no. We have a shared fax product. Again, the Pro seats all have a eFax with them. Instead of paying the $25 shared fax product, I always just add one Pro seat because it's $5, and I just use that. You can set up the email address and you can go around that cost. 4G fail, edge device. So as of right now, we still we deploy Simple WAN edge devices for every customer that's 10 seats or more. So if you sell a 10-seat customer, they get a free Simple WAN edge device, and then we open it up and they have access to it. And you as the partner would have access to the Simple WAN dashboard that would show you all your customers. As well as when we build your account, you're built into the actual system, the platform, and you can log in and see all your customers' accounts as well. And if you wanted to make changes or whatever, you just need an LOA for them giving you authorization to do it, and you can go manage those accounts as deep as you want. And the great thing about the portal is there's a parent-child set up in the portal as far as headquarters and then however many locations underneath that, and then you can actually separate billing the same way. And then installation. I know everybody does installation different. For us, it's $750 per location, 25 seats or less. After 25 seats, it's $30. We do drop ship. You guys can bill them yourselves and do it however you like to do it. I don't sell a lot of the installation piece of it. Installation, site survey, professional on-site, and we all, so as far as training goes, we will always train the customer remotely, so it's not on you, regardless of who does the install. If they drop ship and they plug them in themselves, we will still train their personnel and train their admin via a web demo. And we also have a YouTube channel that has, I don't know how many different videos on it, but they're all less than like 2 minutes of how to do each function within the portal that we can share as well. So phones, you can buy them from us, you can rent them from us. If the customer rents them from us, you get comped on it, just like you get comped on the service. If you want to buy them from Amazon and bring them on board, that's fine too. However you want to do it or the customer wants to do it. Obviously, you're going to get better rates from an Amazon or somebody than you're going to get from us, and we don't get comped on purchases anyway. So however you want to go about doing that, it's fine. We do mostly a Polycom shop. We have some Yealinks, the Yealink cordless device, some Obi Highs, some Cisco devices, some Grandstream devices. We have a whole BYOD matrix that'll tell you which handset models and which firmware they have to have in order to be on net. Edge device, that's what I was mentioning earlier. You guys familiar with the Simple WAN device? I'm sure everybody has run into that. QoS, real-time monitoring, dual WAN ports, failover.
Hey, why don't you talk about your partnership with those guys? You're doing like 4G failover, is that good?
We were doing 4G failover, yes. Yep. It's $75. There's other ways to go about doing that. I mean, that's an add-on for the customer. A lot of guys are buying the Verizon whatever and attach them onto the WAN port or whatever for failover. Yep, that too. Yep.
So the edge device has dual WAN inside it, so you can put any external WAN, so you have two.
Yeah, you can put a Comcast connection or an AT&T Uverse connection, and then your fiber connection, and it automatically fails over.
So you can have three WANs.
Two. Yep. And I have a slick on that as well. Partner program. That's me. So we're set up a little different than our peers. Broadvoice wants channel managers such as myself out in the field as much as possible. So I have a partner sales manager, and her name is Alyssa, actually, and quotes, contracts, order follow-up, order tracking, everything. It's one of us, and normally her, because I'm not and Terry can testify to that, because Terry's experienced Alyssa's a lot. And she's outstanding. We have solution architects for web demos to do any deep dive into a customer, anything you would ever need. I just need a little heads up to book it. If you want to see a web demo of the platform, which honestly the screenshots don't do the platform any justice, we can set that up an hour at your time. It can be as long as you want or as deep as you want. But we work in a pod, so you will always work with the same people. So it'll always be me, Alyssa, and Heather. And then on the implementation side, we do the same thing. So you're always working with the same people. And the other thing that we do that our peers, or carrier-wise, don't do is that when we turn a customer up with our implementation team, we hold that customer in that group for 60 days. So that whoever turned them up, if the customer has a change, and if all of you sold hosted before, you know that they're going to have a change the day after you turn them up, because that's what happens. They forget a DID or a voicemail box or an auto attendant. They can call into the same group that turned them up instead of going through customer care. So a little bit more hand-holding, more warm and fuzzy. Wow, this got short. I didn't put this together, so. So I know Terry sold some of us. How would you say your experience with us has been?
White glove across the board, exception to installation.
Yeah, so one of the things that drew me to Broadvoice was other than a partner bringing me here, was the fact that they had implementation down. I mean, if you've sold hosted, you know that implementation since 2005 when we started selling it, the Broadview and BroadSmart days back in the day, the implementation's always been the headache, right? So we pride ourselves on that. We'll assign a technical implementation specialist over the top that goes through every bit of the design call, every email address, every voicemail box, everything before we ever turn them up. We go by the customer's pace as to when they want to turn up, when they want to port. It's a much smoother process than some of the other ones I've seen out there. And again, like I said, I've been on your side, so I've seen a lot of it. We do win a lot. We're actually in a lot bigger deals than we used to be on the Metaswitch side. I mean, we're closing some huge deals with Broadvoice, and I'm not just whistling Dixie. We're really closing some big deals. Multi-site is where we're really big. Retail sites, medical, we're HIPAA compliant. We'll sign a BAA. We are PCI compliant. If you're in the government space, we have an RFP group now, and I know you got me that one, but it was a little late. We have in various states, we have access to the government bidding process and all that other stuff. We have a woman on board, Patty, who does nothing but that. That's her whole thing is RFP. So if you run into that, we just did one for North Miami here, looking for a big a big, huge solution actually, but there was a bidding process. I know that some of you guys are on the distribution list on various ones, but if you have any, feel free to run it by us. We'll take a look at it and let you know if we're a fit or not. And I'll tell you the same thing I tell Terry and all those guys. If you bring me a deal and it's not a fit, I'm going to tell you because I'm not going to waste your time. So with Broadvoice, you get a very solid team and you get a very, very solid platform. And on our contact center side, if you're all in on the contact center seat, it's $63. Our taxes and fees are on the quote. So when your customer gets their bill, they're not going to notice that it's 50% of what the MRC was all of a sudden for some carriers, right? So ours is 20%.
Yeah, so that's a big thing, by the way. So your taxes are roughly 20%.
20, 22, something like that, yeah.
That's probably seen the world, man. Some of the taxes are like 40 to 50%.
Yeah, depending on the carrier. Yep. So, and it'll be on every bill. And we have flexibility. There's actually a free phone promo right now too. You guys can give away free 411s and still get 2x. So,
Well, since we're on that topic, just going back to the 6X.
Yeah.
I imagine that's what, at least a 3-year deal.
they're all 3-year deals. Nobody's paying a spiff on anything less than a 3-year deal.
Okay.
If they are, they won't be around long.
So if you take advantage of the free phone promo, that 6X goes to 2X.
That's correct. And if it's below 10 seats, it goes to 4x. So you're still getting paid.
As far as
I'm glad you're here, Benny.
hours and protocol, is there like a live person that we can talk to, or do we have to open?
No. We're 365, 24/7, right out of our office in California. So,
365, 24/7?
yes,
Like Saturday, Sunday?
yes. Yep. And actually, we're adding some resources on the East Coast too. Alyssa, who is my partner support manager, she actually lives in California. She starts her day at 6 o'clock in the morning to support the East Coast. But she's got a little one. She prefers that anyway. But
I mean, I'm just saying that's huge, because really
Yep.
there's very few hosted carriers that I know of that provide that type of service.
And if you have customers that are price conscious, I can tell you that I've never lost a deal on price. I mean, if it gets really skinny and you have to give up a little bit, then that's just, if that's what we have to do, we have to do it. But I would never do that without your input. But if there's business out there to be had, we want that business. And our pricing is already aggressive as compared to most everybody. To rent a VVX 411 is like $8 a month. Obviously, it makes more sense to buy it, if you look at the longevity of the math. But if you want to get paid on it and you can sell it that way, they can rent them. And the great thing about the rental program is if they're renting the handsets and they want to upgrade a handset, they just swap it in and get a different handset. If they want to go from a 400 to a 500, or all of a sudden they want Bluetooth, which is only on the 600, they can switch out to the 600.
And how much are your seats, by the way?
$18 for the basic seat, $23 for the Pro. Contact center seat is another $40, $63 total.
So you could actually, like, say you have 10 seats, you could do 5 basic and 5.
Sure. Yep, we mix and match all the time. I've got customers that are standard, Pro, and contact center, right? It just depends on where they're sitting in that organization.
Does the 6X depend on whether you sell basic or pro? Or
Nope. It's on the MRC minus the equipment. Right. So you don't get spiffed on the handsets, but if they're renting them, you do get the residual on them.
Or if they have existing handsets.
Or they have existing handsets. And if I wish I could show you in the portal. It's so easy to reconfigure a handset. It's like, all the scripts and everything are built in there. You enter the MAC address and it pumps it to the phone and you're done.
What about like phones that are international? Say a customer that has 40 phones here, but 8 phones that are in, say, Dominican Republic.
Whose DIDs do they have? Do they have US DIDs? Okay. Nope. We do international DIDs. We have on our Pro seat, you also get the free international calling to 57 countries, and some of that includes mobile. I have a matrix for that too I can share. I left some cards on the back table if you guys didn't get one, but we sell a lot of that just for that reason. Yeah. Yes, sir.
I got here late, and I apologize. What's your minimum to get in seats?
I've sold one-seat deals. Neither one of us are going to get rich doing that, but if it's a one-seat deal, it's going to turn into a bunch. Or if it's one location, like I just did at Captain D's, that was like two seats, but it's because it's the first one of that franchise, right? So it just depends.
One seat minimum.
One seat minimum. But I'm going to forward you off to Alyssa on that. Huh?
But
that price point, it's a basic, 10, 20 users and up.
You can get a standard seat and a VVX 411 for $24 a month. That's that's all day. I mean, that's pretty competitive. I don't know I know our competitors are like Net2Phone, IP Phone, or somebody like that. Well, the 411s are $8, and then it goes down from there.
So one thing that's unique about this too, guys, is they pay on the rentals. So you say
Yep.
pay on
The same, and it's not reduced commission. It's the same commission you get on the services. So it's exactly there's no waiver, just no spiff.
That's a lovely hook that I've been playing with lately, because some of the people have been doing the same, and how much is this gonna cost me up front? So,
And-
your monthly is gonna go up slightly, but you don't wanna pay out of pocket up front, no problem.
Well, I mean, you have to sell hosted.
Very interesting.
You have to sell hosted not on price, but on solution and what it will do for the business, right? So, I mean, we can play the pricing game all day if you want to do that. That's obviously your prerogative. I don't win a lot of deals. I mean, we do win a lot of deals on price, I should say, but it's more solution selling is what I'm seeing more than anything. And then if you want to give them free handsets, aren't we doing that with San Diego? We're giving them free handsets? Yeah, you give him free handsets, he just takes a lower spiff. But that's a deal that if you win that deal, it's the city of San Diego, it's their golf courses and everything, and they got a call center. If you win that deal, now you're getting into every other office in San Diego. So maybe you take a hit on one to grow the rest of it. You know, you just don't, I mean, there's,
And it also says the fact that Ed does not let the grass grow underneath his feet. On average, I would say the quotes come back sub 5 minutes or less.
yeah, it just depends. It depends where Alyssa and I are and how far behind an email. But yeah, but Dan's team, Kevin Zimmerman, will send me a text at 11 o'clock at night seeing if I'll respond with a quote. So, and I will because I'm me, but yeah. Yeah.
Unless I missed, I didn't see the charge for the SIP.
They took the slide out. So SIP trunking is $11 for local trunks. It's $17 for unlimited local and long distance. And then the bursting is included.
Okay, and that isn't on top of the seat charge?
No. The seats already have the paths in them. There's no SIP trunks with the seats. The seats already have the paths in them. You don't need SIP paths for hosted seats, is what I'm trying to tell you.
So it's either $17 for the SIP trunk with unlimited or $18 for the phone, that includes the phone. So you still get this outgoing callback.
Okay, so it's either a SIP seat or it's a regular seat. with
It's either a SIP trunk to a PBX or it's a hosted seat to a handset.
Okay. And
Go ahead. You're not done. Go ahead.
what do you consider your biggest differentiators from your competition?
I would say our back office first off. I mean, I know that pricing is what it is. Everybody offers the same features. I mean, we're not a Mitel, we're not a 8x8, we're not a Ring Central, but most of the features and functionality, everybody has them, right? I would say our pricing's a differentiator. I would say our support's a differentiator. I would say that I'm a differentiator from whoever else you're dealing with. I mean, candidly, it just depends on what they're looking for. And like I said, so my pitch to everybody that when I first start working with them is, I only win when you win, so whatever it takes for me to help you win, I'm in on that, right? So, and some of the TCG guys can vouch for that, and I know Benny and I have done some business before too.
Do you have call recording?
Yes, we do. On the proceeds, it's included.
Is it on demand or?
No, it's either on or off. You can do whatever, you can turn it on and off as you like. I guess that's on demand. Yeah, it's,
If the call recording is PCI compliant?
So everything's compliant as long as it's on our server, right? As soon as you take it off, then we're no longer responsible for that. It's the same with HIPAA. Like if you read HIPAA laws, there's a bunch of different ways for that to be interpreted. As long as it's on our network, it's compliant. When it gets taken off, we're no longer on the hook for that.
Customer asks, you can provide an AOC on call recording. If a customer asks for it, you can provide an AOC.
Yeah, yep, and a BAA. If you buy 10 trunks and you're bursting into 30 trunks, that's going to be more expensive over time than actually paying for the trunks, right? Because it's 2.9 cents a minute.
So when you call it SIP trunk, you're referring to each individual
Path.
coming in for the
Right, path, yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and there's call recording available on that now too.
Real quick in closing for you, are you evergreen, or we have to make sure the contract is renewed?
Evergreen-
Also, what is your protection rate?
Evergreen is included in the agreement, and our contracts auto renew for a year.
After the 3-year term?
Yes, sir.
They
Yes,
do
sir.
auto renew for a year, and you're good to go as long as the plan doesn't cancel.
Right. And I don't know that we have any churn. I'm sure we do, but I can't imagine it's much. Yeah. I mean, so the new platform came out in December. We're going to migrate all the old Metaswitch clientele over and at some point. I mean, when the customers are adding new sites right now, we're actually moving them over instead of putting them back on Metaswitch. So it's just the process.
So do you have an estimated time of everybody on the new platform? Yeah, right.
I have no idea. nobody's gonna give me that answer hard. That's for sure. Anyone else? I know I speak fast and it's boring. I would say this: if you're in the hosted space, give me an hour. I'll show you the portal, and I promise you'll sell a lot of Broadvoice after seeing that portal. I close more deals just by doing demos, and Terry can verify that too. We do a demo, we almost always win the deal. Just between the demo and the price point, we put a lot of our competitors out of the game. So.
Sorry, I'm hard time wrapping my mind on this trunk thing. So one trunk
Yes.
means one inbound, one outbound, or does it matter? Meaning that do I need two trunks to be able to make and receive one? So receive one call and make one outbound.
Right. So a SIP trunk is a call path, right? So it's either way, but it's only one at a time, right? So when you, so right. So if you have a PRI that's 23, which is 23 SIP trunks with a PRI handoff, that's 23 call paths, however you use them. If they're all in or out, or if they're whatever.
I fully comprehend that,
Yeah.
but it's just so, but for minimum of any kind of service to be relatively functional, I need two.
Right. Well, we sell, our minimum is 5. We won't sell a deal that's less than 5 trunks.
Okay.
Yeah. So like on a retail space where it's a couple of trunks for.
Current call.
Yeah. Yeah.
Current call.
Well, I just go by what they,
Gotcha.
I preach the gospel. So. Anyone else? Dan's trying to get rid of me. All right. Thanks. I appreciate it, everybody.